Yo, what's good, y'all? MJ here. MJ the Greatest on Instagram and Twitter. Back with this week's video. And before I jump right into it, I just want to shout you guys out again for the comments, the subscriptions, the likes, the follows, all of it. I see all of it. I appreciate it so much. And you guys definitely are just like super motivators. Like every video, I know I'm only like 5 in, and I think so far this will be 6, but every video is just like more encouragement, more people reaching out. Like I also feel that way, and that's just encouraging too, because like I know I'm here telling my stories or like stories from my experience, but it's always better to know that like it's all like a shared experience. Like I might be going through something, but you're going through the same thing, just like in a different version, or like your version, you know? So that's always dope, because I just feel like it's way more ways that we're the same than there are differences, if that makes any sense. But before I do too much talking, let's get into it. This week's video this is from an idea that I had from when I was speaking last week, and I said something about fast fashion, and I was like, I kind of wanted to come back to that. But when I was thinking about that, it kind of opened the room for like a bigger conversation, and I feel like this is something that doesn't really get highlighted or talked about as much as it should be. And just from like my experiences of going through it and growing through it, etc. It's big. What is the it? Whatever it is, it's big. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, whatever you're putting your energy, your blood, sweat, and tears towards, is big. It's not small, it's big. And the reason why I felt like this was a whole video's worth of stuff to talk about is because I feel like it's really easy for people to marginalize another person. And by marginalize, I more so mean kind of like diminish what they're doing. Like how many times have you guys heard like, oh, how's that little project you're doing? How's that little business you're working on? How's that little thing? How's that little whatever? You know what I'm saying? People have put like that little in front of whatever they're describing of what you're doing. But why though? Like, why do people, I don't know. But I kind of figured out like how to like kind of like nip that in the bud. In order to nip that in the bud, you have to kind of be the driver of that. Like you have to be the driver of like whenever somebody like points to like say little, or this is little or small, you have to be the one to be like, no, it's not little, it's big, you know? And even it might come off as like, you know, it's different, especially from a person like me, because I'm a naturally like introverted person. So for me to kind of like sort of like stand up for myself or like be loud about it is like something that I have to work on, you know what I'm saying? I have to be more vocal about it. More reason also why, you know what I'm saying, I started this channel. But you have to be vocal about it. You have to be vocal about it, because if you treat what you're doing little, it's no way that anybody else would treat it bigger than that. But if they see you treating it big, if they see how much it means to you, if they see how much work you're putting into it, if they see how dedicated you are to it, then they can begin to accept for themselves like, oh wait, they're not working on something small, they are working on something big. This is something that we should be paying attention to, or we should be putting more respect on, or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? But there's just so many different ways and routes and ways of people that are trying to like minimalize what somebody's doing, and I don't like that. I don't like that. Even if it's your first day at the gym, or if it's your first day starting a YouTube channel, if it's your first day making a new painting, or whatever it is that you do, whatever it is big. It's not small. It's not a side hustle or a hobby. Or it might be. It might be. Whatever you might have like a side hustle, or it might just be a hobby. But you need to like clearly note those things, I feel like. Because if you have a business and you're trying to grow a business, it isn't really a side hustle. Because even if you think about it as a side hustle, it'll always exist in your mind as a side hustle, I feel like. Just from like speaking from my personal experience, I always kind of had the mindset of like, oh, you know, I'd work this main gig, and then I would really do what I really want to do with that money on the side once I am not working at that place anymore, or whatever the case may be, on my off time or my downtime or whatever. That didn't work. Now, like, I want to be clear, like, I'm speaking from personal experience, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's experience is different. I'm gonna stress that every time I talk about stuff that I've gone through, or have gone through, or am going through. But that didn't work for me, because when I was at work doing what I was supposed to be doing for them, I was only thinking about my stuff. I was thinking about, I can't wait to go home and work on I can't wait to get home and work on my projects. I can't wait to get home and work on my website. I can't wait to go home and serve my customers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't care about that other stuff. Even if it was providing me the income for me to produce some of these things, in the overarching scheme of things, it didn't matter, because I wasn't there. I was up here where my ideas reside, where my business resides, where my, you know what I'm saying, my interests reside. So that method does work for some people. They can get by just, you know what I'm saying, doing what they love on the side and just having it be a side hustle and a little hobby. For me, it grew past like the phase of it being just like a little side hustle or just like a hobby. For me, this is my life, you know, like, this is my life. Like, this is like, I couldn't see myself being happier doing really anything else other than creating, other than serving people, other than giving people, you know what I'm saying, like, access to cool things and showing them new things, and even teaching if I can, you know what I'm saying? It's not to be a teacher, but it's like, if I say something that you can think about, if I put out some work that makes you think, like, cool. If not, cool. But like, basically just me being in control of that, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like if you kind of had a mindset of like, oh, it's just it's a hobby, I'll do it on the side, it'll stay as that, you know what I'm saying? But once you sort of kind of change your mind and think like, this is big, like, this is gonna be a big business, I am gonna be successful, I am gonna sell out, I am gonna, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that your goal is to do, you have to push that, you know what I'm saying? That has to be the narrative that you push. You can't let people push the narrative for you. You can't let people take the narrative from you, you know what I'm saying? That's more so why they will diminish it, why they will call it little, why they will say, you know what I'm saying, oh, how's that little thing, you know what I'm saying? But you kind of have to, like, you have to thwart it, you know what I'm saying? And it's not about being like cocky or being arrogant or anything like that, but it's standing up for yourself, you know what I'm saying? People always talk about standing on business. Well, literally stand on your business. Stand on your business. If you have a business, if you got a craft, if you got anything that you're doing and you're looking to grow that, stand on it. Don't let nobody call it little. Don't let nobody call it, you know what I'm saying, whatever they want to call it. Oh, it's cute. It's, you know what I'm saying? When people, you can, like, it's condescending, you know what I'm saying? Especially to somebody who's aspiring to grow. And you kind of can't let that exist in other people's minds. People are going to think what they want to think at all times, you know what I'm saying? You can't change that. But if you can get in front of your business, stand on top of your business and say, this isn't, you know what I'm saying? I like the term small business, because, I mean, you have to start small and then you can grow, of course. But what you're doing is not little. It's definitely very big. You uploading that first video, that's huge. You making that first sample, that's huge. Like, that's big. That's like, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta, even more that kind of, because this kind of goes into just like giving ourselves credit too, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to give ourselves credit when we do something cool, when we do something big, when we take that first step. I always tell people, whoever asks me about starting a brand or starting a business, I always tell them, like, the hardest step is the first one, because that's the one where you're most nervous, you're most scared, you're most unaware of what's gonna happen, you don't know much. But once you take it, it's kind of like, oh, you look around and you're like, I'm still alive, I'm still breathing, so like, I still got opportunity to keep going and keep trying, you know what I'm saying? And that for me is always like the fulfilling part. Like, I always have opportunity to keep going. I might fail, I might, you know what I'm saying, not do as well as I thought, or something might not turn out the best way I might think it could have turned out. But we still got to give ourselves that credit, that pat on the back, to know that we did something. Because guess what? It's a lot of people not doing anything. I don't know if y'all know, but it's a lot of people not doing anything but talking. So I know if you're watching this, you aren't one of those people. You're one of those people that you're a go-getter. You're a go-getter. And so I made this video for you. I hope you enjoy. Peace out. Catch y'all next week.